Virgo. So meditating on your reading, this is your May 2025 tarot reading. I got apples and oranges, and I did get pears as well. Weird as, okay, but it's fruit. I know, you're like, thanks Gemma. Well, I was not aware of that. I'm going to take an oracle card for you first, and it may very easily come to pass that we know why I'm suddenly getting a fruit basket when I'm thinking about Virgo. But sometimes, especially when it comes to apples, they have a very interesting history. You know, you reach for fruit, Adam and Eve, you know, that whole reaching for the apple. I don't know. Let's see what oracle card we get first. Ooh. It's hot in here. We're getting the Phoenix. I love this card. Resurrection. Surrender to change. Okay. I'm also getting, you can't compare apples and oranges. I'm going to take another one. Oh, I love this one. The winged wise ones, angelic help, miraculous aid. This comes when you are on the precipice of something. You know, you are... I'm getting an image of you reaching for that apple, quite honestly. I know it may be low-hanging fruit, but it looks good. It's tempting. You're not going to fall. Let's take a third one, and then I'll throw some tarot cards your way. Ooh. The prison waif, self-sabotage and poverty consciousness. Something that Virgos always need to be aware of. Virgos, you have this, and I don't know why it is. Maybe you can tell me in the comments. When it comes to being the first one in the row for cake, you're often letting other people in the queue. Now, and I'm also going to get some really weird meditations and channels for you. I'm also getting a question from the universe for you. Why are you being the human bridge? And tell me in the comments, please. But some of you, you know, you hear these things where somebody became the bridge so lots of people could get off a ferry or a burning something or whatever. But this is, why are you looking to become the human bridge? Why will you always sacrifice? Resurrection with the Phoenix, surrender to change. And the universe as well now, starting to get a look in on this and wanting to question your idea that you're not... It's got to come down to self-worth, because people take you at your own recommendation and you're recommending yourself too low. I want to just get that out there. You're recommending yourself is too low. Your price is too low. You're worth more than this. And it's time for the universe, and I'm going to write this down with my glittery fish pen so I'll remember it. The universe wants you to recognize it. You are worth more than this. And you know it deep down. You may have had a difficult few weeks, few months, and be feeling like we do, down on yourself, or, you know, what fresh hell is this type feeling. Let's take some cards for you. I'm using the Nightshade Tarot because I was using it for Leo, and I just thought this is a very Virgo looking. Ooh, looking deck. Woohoo! Now then. What are you doing there, little devil? Sometimes the devil does not come up because it's like a dastardly person or, you know, someone who's toxic or whatever. Sometimes the devil comes up. And this could be one of those times where it seeks to remind you that it's okay to be selfish, that it's okay to be a whole person. You know, you don't need to be perfect. A lot of you that I'm reading for today grew up needing to please the people in your environment in order to get love. And this card is here to tell you, this devil in a pink jumpsuit or whatever is going on with that, that this is time to change. And that doesn't look like a very easy change because the phoenix kind of is on fire, you know, emerging from the ashes. But you are undergoing, I'm going to call it an awakening. And it's a questioning of where you've come from. And this is really hard to do and it's very brave. So hats off to you because you're doing it. Some of you, maybe you haven't had a choice. Sometimes this is where we get to when, you know, we are at rock bottom or we've been kind of pushed into it. You know, I wouldn't question it really. You're there and the universe has this big message for you. And it's more than put yourself first. It's question what got you thinking you weren't worth it in the first place, which is not easy. There may be, and there is, in fact, I'm not going to say maybe, there is. I'm only saying this because I hate this, the maybe. I'm trying to soften it, but I'm not going to do that now. There will be inner child work here. I know. It's so cringy, but the things you find cringy are the things you need to explore. Nice. I like this deck. The Knight of Swords. The time has come for the relentless pursuit of the truth. Now, if you are not in good shape, wait until you are, because you need to be robust for this. Or get help with it. A therapist that you trust, friend that you trust, maybe you have to be a therapist, I don't know. Only you will know that. But sometimes it's the time for this, and sometimes it's the time for like burying it under the carpet, but know that you're going to do it in a few weeks' time. Whatever, okay? This change is kind of a coming anyway. And it's sweeping through everything. And do you want to know what channeled image I got for that? I got one of those robot vacuum cleaners that goes around like flat floors with cats sat on them usually. Just, you know, cleaning house. You're cleaning up house. You're cleaning house. Seven of Wands. Mars in Leo. The need for you to say no is a sentence. No. Full stop. That's a sentence. This will be in different ways. There may be someone you haven't been able to say no to. It could be a family thing. It could be in your love life. And we will look at your love life in a minute underneath these cards. But this is... saying no is not unkind. It may not be what the other person wants to hear. And you may right now be in a situation where they don't want to hear it. Well, okay, they don't want to hear it, but that's not always the point. Okay. Mars in Leo, there's a crunch point coming where you're going to need to draw your line in the sand and probably say no. And you may have said yes before, but it's a no now. Yeah. Look at this, the Emperor. Big Daddy, the Emperor. That is becoming the CEO of your own life. Okay, it's time for you to become the CEO of your own life. Wow. Normally I just ask you for recommendations of what to watch on the streaming services, but today, Virgo, we're going in. We're going in deep. Okay, one more card on the general part of this. I am going to look at relationships, but I suspect relationships will be linked to this. This, the Eight of Wands. Sorry, the Eight of Swords. Does not look like the Eight of Wands. Your own limiting beliefs. You're no longer the lineage bearer for other people and their self-sabotage and scarcity belief systems. I feel like I'm going to whack my finger in a minute. So let's do some love and relationship cards and how this plays out in your love life. Goodness. I'm going to look down here to do it. I'm going to do that. That's not bad. Can almost see them all, can't we? Let's just swing. Okay. Using Scarlet Rose Tarot. Featuring the Scarlet Rose Tarot. We are coming to the erection section. Right, love reading. Now this can be, never mind my 1980s DJ impression, this can be friends, family, whatever. Okay, it can also be romantic relationships. We will see. There'll be an extended love reading after this one. So if you really get into this, that will be the first link in the description box where we get weirder and wilder. Okay. Huh? Nine of Swords, straight out. You're worried about something. Okay? Something stressy. You know, it's not unusual for a Virgo to overthink things or to be worried about something because Virgos are very conscious of things and, you know, you're an intellectual sign and that's just the way it is. Let's see what else we get to see what you need to or don't need to worry about. Okay, with the High Priestess, I'm rather liking that you got the High Priestess actually. And the Page of Swords. Some of you could be worrying about a communication or a lack of it because the Page of Swords is the beginning of a communication. It's the thoughts, it's the ideas, it's the most junior of the Swords cards. So it can be, why hasn't somebody messaged me back? Or why have I not heard from them? Or why don't I have enough information? Remember, we've got this person up at 4 a.m, head in hands. The High Priestess is pretty quiet here, but what she is telling you, Virgo, is you have got this, you do know this, you can feel your way to an answer, and actually you've done all the thinking that you need to do here. Now it's time for intuition to take over. Okay, Virgo has really good intuition. Your opposite sign is Pisces and you can kind of switch into it. Ace of Wands. I was not expecting that. Okay. I'm going to take one more to go with it. No, I'm not. I'm going to take one of these to go with it. Nightshade Tarot. One of those ones. For one of these ones. Tell us about the Ace of Wands, which is attraction, which is chicka chicka, which is woohoo. I'm feeling it, baby. Five of Wands. Miscommunication about attraction. Ooh. So you may be in a situation where you're all over the chutney about whether there's an attraction, whether there isn't an attraction, whether there's enough of an attraction, whether it's just beginning, whether you can talk about it, whether you've heard enough. Tell us more. Oof. 8 of Cups, if you don't mind. Woof. Okay. Could be somebody you've broken up with, because the 8 of Cups is a card of distance. Someone you haven't heard from, someone you may have broken up with, someone you are confused about. I've literally got it ain't over till it's over channeled to me. Or is it? I mean, God, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. Strength. Woof. Okay. I'm thinking. You thought you knew something. You did know something. You've thought about it, overthought it maybe, but you've thought about it. The Page of Swords implies there will be an answer, but it will be small. Maybe not enough for you at the moment, but something, okay? You hear something. This can be like an irritatingly short text message where you're like, oh my God, is that it? They're so cryptic. Attraction is on the table, okay? It may be that you know there's a physical attraction, but you're not sure about the mental. 8 of Cups, there's a distancing or a breakup or some kind of moving away from what you love or who you love, or them moving away from you. And Strength. Of course, you could be on the cusp of Leo, or you could be dealing with a Leo. But strength is more important than that. It's about knowing yourself and knowing your value. Ooh, this guy. This guy. The Magician has turned up in nearly everybody's reading, and I'm getting a trickster energy. Now, the Magician, mad, bad and dangerous to know, very attractive. I get a feeling with the Magician of, whoo-hoo, you know. Oof. I'm getting playing games. Is someone playing games with you, Virgo? Oh, I love this though. Temperance. Okay. I'm kind of getting a message with Temperance that half of your worries are true and half of them aren't. Okay? You need a sense of moderation. You don't... It also depends on your self-worth in the beginning. It may be that what needs to cut through this situation is that Devil card, that feeling of standing your ground, even if you're scared of the answer. You know, sometimes we tread light and we tread on eggshells because we don't want to scare somebody off, especially if there's a beginning of something, or we're in a confusion, or we're not quite clear, or it's the opening stages, or we've just got them back, or whatever it is. But the very opposite appears to be true with this. 4 of Pentacles. Keep your hands on your purse, okay? I'm going to look at the bottom card. Oh, I like that. And the Star. What do you really wish for, Virgo? Not what do you want, but what do you what's your heart's desire with this? And don't let fear rule. This requires for you to stand very, very tall and very, very proud, actually, of what you've achieved, and to be the CEO of this situation, of this romantic situation, of this confusion. And to be able to, let me take one more card. Ooh. Steer yourself towards what your intuition knows is right, but your head and heart might be arguing with. Woof. In the extended reading, by God, woof, I'm going to crack open a couple of different decks actually, because I think we're going to need it. I'm going to look at this Magician. I'm going to look at what the words mean. I'm going to look at how they feel about you, what's happening with the Eight of Cups, whether you can get clarity or whether you need to steer clear actually, or come closer. Okay? Woof. It's the first link in the description box if you want to join me. I'm off there now. Leave me a comment. I'll see you on the other side. Namaste, Virgo.